This is the Friday homework for 5-13-16 Math Practice 12. In this problem, it gives us the data to show the distance a cat is from his bowl over time. This is a linear relationship, and the first question asks us to graph it. So on the x-axis would be the time in seconds, because that is the independent variable. And here you can see I went up by ones. The y-axis, or the dependent variable, is meters, and I went up by threes here. Make sure to remember labels such as seconds, meters, and the cat distance from bowl. Number 2 asks us to write an equation that shows the relationship between seconds and distance in meters, and then show how you used substitution to find the y-intercept. Key idea. So here I did our carets. So there's a difference in how far apart the 6 and the 9 are, so I just did these two sets, so the 4 and the 6, and the 9 and the 11. So the difference between 4 and 6 is 2, and the difference between 12 and 18 is 6. Same with the difference between 9 and 11 is 2, and the difference between 27 and 33 is 6. And the slope of a line is the change in y over the change in x, or in this case, the change in m over the change in s, which would be 6 over 2, or 3. So given the normal equation format y equals mx plus b, substituting in our variables m and s, we get m equals ms plus b. And since we know that the slope would be 3, we can substitute it in for the lowercase m, which would be the slope. So we get m equals 3s plus b. I then took the points 6 and 18, which are given, and I substituted it into this equation we just found, where the m value is 18 and the s value is 6, which gives us 18 equals 3 times 6 plus b. 3 times 6 is equal to 18, so we get 18 equals 18 plus b. So b, or the y-intercept, is 0, which means it's located at the origin. So the equation would either be m equals 3s plus 0, or just m equals 3s. The third question asks us, what is the slope of our equation? So you see here, I put our equation up in this corner, and like we saw for in the previous one, the slope is 3. Because in the equation format, y equals mx plus b, where y is substituted for m is substituted for 3, x is substituted for s, and b is 0. 3 is the slope of our equation, which would be represented as the change in y over the change in x. The fourth problem asks us, what does the slope mean in terms of distance to the cat's bowl? So remembering our slope is 3, and slope equals the change in y over the change in x, or in this problem, the change in m over the change in s, so 3 over 1. So the change in meters over the change in seconds. So for every second, the 1 here, the cat has moved 3, the y here, meters away from the bowl. 5 asks us what the y-intercept of our equation is. So remember our equation is m equals 3s, and the y-intercept is when the y-intercept is when s is equal to 0. So we can plug 0 in as s in the equation to find m. So m is equal to 3 times 0. And 3 times 0 is 0, so m is equal to 0. So the y-intercept is 0, or 0, 0, because the x and y are both 0. Six asks, what does the y-intercept means in terms of the distance to the cat's bowl? So, remembering that the y-intercept is the change in y over the change in x, as we did in number 4, means that when 0 seconds have passed, the cat has moved 0 meters, because the y-intercept is at 0, 0, where M is the number of meters, and S is the number of seconds. 7 asks us how many meters has the cat moved after 30 seconds. So it's given us the S variable, which is seconds. So using our equation M equals 3S, we can plug the 30 seconds in as S, giving us M equals 3 times 30, which we can then solve for M by multiplying 3 times 30. 3 times 30 is equal to 90. So M is equal to 90. So after 30 seconds, the cat is 90 meters away from his food dish. 8 asks, how many seconds has passed when a cat is 200 meters away from his food bowl? So this time, instead of giving us the S variable, they have given us the M variable. We still plug it into the equation M equals 3S, except in the M spot instead. So this gives us 200 equals 3S. What we're trying to do is we're trying to solve for S, so we need to get the S variable by itself, which means we have to get the 3 away from this. You can keep the equation equal by doing the same things to both sides, which means we can multiply both sides by 3 to get S alone. 200 divided by 3 is 66 and 2/3. So it takes 66 and 2/3 of a second, 66 and 2/3 seconds for a cat to get 200 meters away from his food bowl. And that's it.